A tense scene unfolded in Paramount on Saturday as protesters clashed with federal agents near a Home Depot on Alondra Boulevard. The confrontation wasn't sparked by an active immigration raid, as many feared, but by the presence of heavily armed federal agents staging at a Homeland Security office. Still, the optics, agents in riot gear in a largely Latino neighborhood, were enough to ignite outrage. Demonstrators quickly filled the area, blocking roads with shopping carts and recycling bins. As emotions rose, law enforcement deployed tear gas and flashbangs to break up the crowd. Arrests followed, mostly for alleged assaults on federal agents. One protester was seen with a bleeding head wound, a grim reminder of how quickly peaceful demonstrations can spiral. City officials insisted they hadn't been informed of any operation in advance. Paramount's mayor expressed surprise at the federal presence, emphasizing the community's alarm at seeing such a militarized force without warning. What was described by federal agencies as routine staging felt, to residents and demonstrators, like the early stages of a raid. The unrest wasn't isolated. In downtown Los Angeles the day before, ICE agents carried out a series of enforcement actions that resulted in more than 40 arrests. Protesters there had already begun pushing back, tossing concrete and debris at authorities, who responded with force. A well-known local union leader was among those arrested and injured while trying to record what he saw. By the next evening, demonstrations had spread to neighboring Compton. There, hundreds gathered, waving Mexican flags and chanting in defiance. Tensions deepened with news that the president had signed an emergency order sending 2,000 National Guard troops into Los Angeles County. Officials in Washington called it a necessary step to protect federal operations, but to many in LA, it felt like an occupation. California's governor and Los Angeles's mayor both pushed back. They called the deployment an overreach, one that would inflame rather than calm the situation. They argued that the local response was already sufficient and that bringing in troops without the state's cooperation would only worsen public trust. At the heart of the issue are people. Families unsure if a knock at the door will end in separation. Neighbors terrified by helicopters and sirens. Immigrants, many long settled and contributing to their communities, watching agents patrol their streets and wondering if they'll be next. With over 100 individuals now in federal custody, including some legal residents, civil rights groups are raising concerns about due process and fairness. Public figures and community leaders are calling for transparency, answers, and most of all, restraint. Paramount wasn't where this began, and it likely won't be where it ends. But for now, it's where a community stood its ground, angrily, chaotically, and, above all, visibly.